Two. All right, good afternoon. My name is Josue. I'm part of the committee to prepare these Juneteenth events, and today I'm here with Associate Pastor Isaiah Obi. What's going on, man?
What's good? What's poppin'?
Nothing much. Well, it's really hot today, isn't it? Have you gone outside yet?
Yeah, I've gone out more than I'd like to. I've had to go to my car a few times, um, drive to the office, and it is a scorcher out there.
It's
It's
definitely one of those. I mentioned that you were a pastor. Where do you pastor?
Yeah, so I'm an associate pastor at Northside Christian Assembly at 709 Northport Drive in Madison, Wisconsin, past the Mallard Stadium. And I work with my family. My parents, Pastors Joe and Crystal Obi, are the associate. They're not the associate pastors. I'm the associate pastor. They're
Yeah.
the lead pastors there. Uh, you know what? We could just say that I'm the lead pastor. We just don't have to tell them. We just don't have to tell them. So
You
yeah, that's what
got
we'll do.
jokes. How long have you been doing that?
So I've been in this position for 3 years, and before I took this position, I was in Chicago. I was living in Chicago, doing a lot of music stuff. So music producing and arranging for folks, playing the piano, doing a lot of touring and traveling and things like that. Then I got married and had a kid, and then I was like, it might be good
Wow,
to be home
congrats, man.
some. Thank you. Yeah. And maybe being gone all the time, maybe's not the move.
Maybe
Raising
not anymore.
raising
Yeah.
a family. Just for me. It works for some people, but not me. I like yep. I
What have you
like not
liked
being home.
about what's have you liked about being back now for the last couple of years?
That's a great question. I wish I was better prepared to answer it because I moved back at the end of 2019 and then the
Oh
pandemic hit.
no.
So I wish I had more stories of like, oh yeah, I was having I've had so much fun doing outside things, but it's been pretty much just church stuff, which has been really really good, and I've gotten really good at having Zoom studio sessions, which has been pretty cool. So been blessed to be able to, for the most part, stay sane.
Now, tell me a little bit about you mentioned church. Tell me a little bit about the community that your church serves in.
Yeah, so we are on the north side of Madison. It's a really really nice area. Like it's a great community. It is a the words that make me sound good and smart are escaping me right now. But it's a community where people are moving in and out. Uh, Fairly
Transient.
quick. Transient is exactly the word. See, we can just start this over, and then I'm just gonna use that word. But it's a transient community, so it's a food desert out here. It's
Mhm.
it's not. We have the community center. There's a lot of community engagement from the city and other nonprofits and as well as churches. So it's a transient community. It's coming up. It will soon be uh, even bigger. So we feel really blessed to be here and to be able to kind of kick things back off with the community and getting more involved.
I like that. Now, what's your role specifically there at the church as the associate pastor? What does like a day-to-day look like for you?
Yeah. So as the associate lead pastor,
Yeah.
yeah, day to day looks very different. That's one of the things that I love about working here and being in ministry. Uh,
Hmm.
some days I'm doing this, and just and having really good conversation with people. Some days it's counseling people. Some days it's changing light bulbs, and some days it's writing music for an event that we're doing or
Wow.
preparing something. Preparing our music team for things, and a lot of training, a lot of leadership stuff, and a ton of learning. And a really big part of church and Christianity and faith is community. So I get to hang out with people professionally, and it's awesome. I have a lot of fun.
Do you specialize in any particular part, like in the community? Do you work with the like the little kids, the older folk in the middle?
Mostly the young adults. So, and by young adults, I mean 20 to 35. So, for youth, they would consider that to be adult. But
Right.
as 20s and 30s, we know we're just getting this thing
As a
started.
20 something, yeah.
Yeah, we're like, we don't know what we're doing out here. So, that's primarily who I work with and I focus on, as well as create like all things creative. My wife and I share the role at church, so we do all things creative and communication and arts and music and things like that. So it's really cool.
What does working with young adults look like specifically?
It's honestly just hanging out and having a good time and just being
Mm,
there for each
just
other.
being there.
Yeah, just being there. Community is it's a lost art. It's not a lost art, but it's something that
It can be.
community and real community in an age of social media, in an age especially you know pandemic, pre current post pandemic, wherever we are in the on that spectrum, having real intentional relationships with people instead of presenting ourselves in a way so that we have fans of us is
Mm,
something that we don't is something that we typically don't do well. And one of the things that we at the church and me personally and my family, we've been really trying to make community an intentional part, showing the vulnerable parts of ourselves, showing, the hey, I'm sad today, and that's just period, and that's just what
how
it
it is,
is.
yeah.
Um, and being there for each other, being challenged, and helping any and every way we can, and having a lot of fun, and not trying to put up, uh, yeah, fronts, and not that there's not a place for, you know, I am an artist, I'm a musician, I work for people who have fans professionally. So there's nothing against social media, but every single person
Right, right,
needs a a real community, and a lot of us don't.
right. Now, in working with them, are there any like issues that you see that kind of are recurring that come up that like you notice and deal with?
Absolutely. So I think I think there's a lot, and I've actually noticed that the young adults in particular, I can't really speak for the older generation, but the 20s in particular, and like late middle school and high school age, are experiencing a lot of the same things because we are in an age of social media. And the late millennials had a lot of the social media, but I still remember flip phones and phone books and real maps. uh,
I remember,
but a
yeah.
lot of the but a lot of the, I hate being like these kids nowadays, but that's because that's not that's not what I mean. But there's an entire generation that was born into Google. So with all the screen time, with all the things, there's a lot of comparison things, a lot of mental health, a lot of being very very passionate and not really knowing where
Mm,
to put that passion. Uh, yeah, just being like I've said before, just being okay with being like, yeah, I'm not okay, but also taking the next step and then doing something about it, or allowing someone in to challenge you and to say, okay, so this is what you need to do, and then say okay. And not being afraid to be wrong is hard.
right. No, that's true. That's a very good point. I think that's one of the things I used to struggle with, being afraid to be wrong,
Yeah.
and to failing, and getting that stigma like, oh man, Josue's a failure. He did this, he did that, or like, you sometimes don't want to go through that, but having somebody kind of walking you through it to let you know, I think that definitely helps a lot because I know it did help me.
Yeah.
Um, now, now that you're a little bit older than I am, but like, what are some things that you tell these younger adults, like what are some things that you teach them, or that you walk them through, like, hey, I've been there where you are.
Yeah.
um so like, to let them know that
Yeah,
they're not
totally.
alone and that there are some solutions to their problems.
Yeah, totally. I mean, I think so. I have six things
Okay,
that I was
dope.
thinking about, and preparing for this, and it this wasn't the first, but you were just talking about, like, like, hey, like, you know the fear, the totally understandable fear of failing and being wrong, and it's something that I still, to this day, to this day, struggle with.
Yeah.
Like that perfectionism. I don't want to put myself out there because what if somebody, what about people, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I wish I knew sooner was that you need to consistently wake up every single day and do the hard thing. Um,
Mm.
and I'm not talking about like the cliche stuff that's like, turn the other cheek and don't do drugs, and like that stuff is important, like, like that stuff is important. There's a
Very
lot of
much
value
so.
in
Yeah.
that. You should definitely, like take that stuff serious. But there's a lot of the in between hard stuff that we don't really think about, like, not the hard step of asking a question when you don't know something. uh Not being afraid to ask questions and being like, yo, I not being afraid to look dumb. That's
I
the
got
hard
nothing.
thing.
Yeah.
you know um the hard thing is, learning something new when you know you're going to be horrible at it. I'm a musician. There's lots of different parts, or in the music industry, there's lots of different areas in music, and whether it's playing an instrument or recording or working with sound design and synthesis or setting up, sound panels or whatever it is, I've had to learn these things and be horrible at them. And it sucks every time. Like, it doesn't get any easier being bad at something.
Yeah.
But when you
It's
make the
very true.
decision to wake up and just do it and just be bad at it, uh yeah, I want to be like, yeah, it gets easier, but it doesn't. But it always pays off. It always pays off in the long run.
I like that. So wake up, do the hard thing.
Every day. I heard someone say, if you have to eat a frog every day, make make it be the first thing you do every morning. Yep. If you
Mm.
have to eat a frog every
If you
day,
gotta
there's a
eat a
frog.
frog,
If you have to eat a frog, and I don't know about you. I don't know about the listeners in the listener world.
we all got our frogs, bro.
We've all got our frogs, and I'm not too keen on the taste of frog. But if we have to do it, um, you know, let it be the first thing that we do. Get the hard stuff. Just do the hard thing. Don't wait on it. And as someone who didn't do well in school, it's like really ironic. I'm sure one of my teachers is going to be like, rolling their eyes right now. But it was something that I didn't learn until very,
Much
very
later in life.
recently, much, much, much later in life. That
Well,
it is the hard thing to do, but it's important. So that's one of the six things that I wish I knew sooner. Um, Another one is that nothing lasts forever. We've heard it be
tell
said.
me more. It's interesting.
Yeah, we've heard it a ton. Like, this is, it's gonna pass. Nothing's forever. But truly, nothing is forever. I remember being in high school, and there was a party that I wanted to go to. This happened many times. There was these, events or whatever that I wanted to go to, and I'd ask my parents. I'm a pastor's kid. My parents were a little more strict than those around me, than my friends around me, and they're like, well,
Always that way.
yeah. So, they, if I didn't have enough answers to the questions, they were just like, no, they weren't going to deal with it. So it was no. Uh, Something that I thank them for today. But at the time, I was like, oh, well, I can't go to this party. My life is over. I mean, that's it. I've got there's nothing left. There's this
It feels
this
that
is
way
it.
sometimes,
And
doesn't
it
it?
it feels like that, when when you're when you are going through something and you're in the situation, it feels like this is my life and this is my life forever. This is it. This is going to be
Agreed.
the only thing, just from now on until forever. And but it doesn't. Nothing lasts forever. There are relationships that we, you know, try to hold on to that we probably shouldn't, that maybe we've outgrown, or they've become not great for us in the long run. Maybe it's our mental health, maybe it's our physical health, maybe it's our safety,
Mm.
maybe it's our financial health or educational health or whatever. I'm just making stuff up now, but maybe there are relationships. They don't Relationships don't last forever, and they don't have to. So, we don't have to force them, because nothing lasts forever, and it's okay. When good things happen in our life, when we're up, when the cards are in our favor, we should be grateful for those things, because nothing lasts forever. We're not always going to be at the top. We're not always going to be selling what we're selling. I don't know if it, I don't know who's listening, but
I know what you mean. Yeah.
yeah, like,
Yeah.
we're not always going to be the most popular. We're not always going to be. I was the prom king. I was so happy I was prom
Hey,
king for a
nice.
day, actually a night. Didn't change anything. Didn't make a difference. When I walk into the grocery store, nobody cares about that. It lasted an hour. I was like, whoa, and then that was it. Nothing lasts forever, so you know we can't get like change is okay. Nothing lasts forever, and
Accept
that's
it.
okay. Accept it, and the quicker we do that, the quicker we can do the next thing, which is to only all this stuff is like really cliche stuff, but it was even just really good for me writing this stuff down. Uh, Nothing lasts forever, so the only thing that we can do is focus on what we can control. Uh,
I like that.
when we are, things happen, things are happening, especially the news. The news is, oh, and this. It's like I don't know why in my head I hear like the WWE announcers, like, oh my gosh, and he jumps off the top rope. Like that's just kind of what the news feels like. It just feels like this like super
Over
intense.
sensualizing everything. Yeah.
Yes, and everything is just and there is a lot of stuff that's necessary. A lot of
Yeah.
stuff that should get those reactions. There's a lot going on. However, if we focus on those things, if we focus on everything, we will have no focus left. So, we can really only focus on what we can control, what we can control. When things happen, when we're faced with situations, people, or maybe it's in a relationship or, whatever, if we take a step back and say, okay, what can I actually control in this situation? Excuse me. And only focus on that, chances are you're going to get through it way quicker. Uh, yeah, take a look at every situation and react to the things that you can control. Um, some of us I definitely struggle sometimes with like overthinking about things that already happened. So like when we
Mm.
leave this conversation, on my way home, I'm gonna have to fight the thoughts of, dang, I should have said this. I shouldn't have said that. I should have thought about that. And I have to ask myself, like, one of the ways that I can kind of get past that is asking myself, like, did I do the best that I could with what I had, with the resources that I had? Did I do the best that I could? If the answer is no, then do the best that
Reevaluate.
I can. Yeah, like then it's like, okay, cool. So what am I gonna do next time? And most of the time we're in the situation, so it's like, okay, so just do it. And then if it's like, yeah, I did the best that I could with what I had, then I need to be okay with that and give myself a pat on the back and like be proud of myself. And then in some situations, forgive yourself for forgive yourself for being too hard on yourself when you didn't need to. So just like, did you do the best that you
I like
could
that. Yeah.
with what you have? Um, Another part about focusing on what you can control is choose well. This isn't a
Hmm.
note, but we need to choose well. So there's a lot in our lives that we don't get to choose. I was born in this skin. I'm 5'5". I was born in this body. It would be great if I could just choose to be 6'8". Like that would be incredible. I can't make
Would
that
you play
choice.
ball if you had that
Heck
size?
yeah, I'd play ball. Absolutely, I'd
Yeah.
play ball. I mean, I don't know. I would just do tall people things. I'd hang up this this painting right here. I'd hang it up. I would just, I'd put it up. I would just do tall people things. I don't really know. I don't know what that looks. I've been close to the ground my whole life. Uh, but if anybody out there knows if you can just how to choose to be tall, that'd be great. Let me know. But I didn't get to make that choice. I didn't choose to be born into the family that I was born in or the city that I was born in. Uh, I only have a few things that I can choose. I can choose who I follow on social media. I can choose, you know, uh, what I want to do, what job I want to take for the most part. Some people have
According
hopes
based on your skills
based,
and your
yep,
skill
based
set and whatever, yeah.
on the
Your
resources that we
personality,
have,
right.
on the resources. So there are specific choices that we are allotted based on the resources. Some of us have more choice, areas to choose than others, but with what we have to choose from, choose well. You know,
I like
don't choose chaos for friendships. You don't have to.
that.
Don't choose violence. You don't have to. It's already enough of
That
nonsense out in
going
the
around,
world.
yeah.
Yeah, it's enough. It's enough foolishness. Choose
Agreed.
choose good. Choose good. That's a good way to say that. Uh, so yeah, so nothing lasts forever. Focus on what you control. The next one is that gratitude saves lives. I'm gonna keep this one
Mm.
short, but practice gratitude. So psychological experts, psychiatrists, faith leaders in the Christian faith, but uh, almost all the major religions out there, all around the world, almost all cultures, from you know thousands and thousands of years, have all agreed that living a life of gratitude makes us better people, and that living a
Mm.
life of
It's interesting.
gratitude makes us more successful. Every single one of them. I said that really strong. I don't know if it's every single one of them, but the general consensus that I've learned in, uh, just from my studies and
Generally,
just
yeah.
in general, it's that we all agree that being grateful is better for us in the long run. Uh, Psychologically speaking, being in a good mood allows the parts of our brain that problem solve and think creatively, act way more effective. So
I've heard that before, yeah.
yeah, so as as an example, I don't know if anybody's been in a situation where, well, we probably don't know realize we're in the situation when we're in it. Actually, I do. So when we're in a situation, and we're upset about it, and we have to figure it out, and then we take a nap, and then wake up, or go to sleep and then wake up the next day and go like, oh, okay, I got it. It wasn't that bad. It wasn't that big of a deal. Or sometimes it's just you just need a snack and a nap or whatever. When you're in a good mood about things, or when you're not in a bad mood, you're able to kind of think about things way more clear. So that's like that. That's scientific. The example that I gave wasn't, but so something that I try to do every single day is just take 2 minutes, literally just put on a timer and just write down things that I'm grateful for. Uh,
Mm.
and just write as many things as I can down, just 2 minutes every single day, 2 minutes a day, every single day, just writing down things that you're grateful for. What it does when things do come up, you're less likely to get stuck there and say like, "Oh, this is my life. I have nothing. This is it," because you've already put the things that you're grateful for in the front of your mind. Um, I'm way less likely to get stuck up on the fact that I'm not 6'8", because I'm grateful that,
Yeah,
I don't know, I should have thought of something, but I'm grateful that I have nice hair. So yeah, there's that.
that you have a wife who loves you, a job that you like, that you get to produce music.
No, I'm just kidding.
You
Yeah,
have a
no, it's my hair, dude. So
it's the hair, yeah.
so yeah, like I was trying to think of like what's the opposite comparison, but that's a really good example actually. There
Right,
doesn't need to be. It doesn't like there are things that I might want, or there are problems that might come, but hey, here are these things that I should be grateful for, because not everybody has them, and a lot of people don't, and a lot of people wish
right.
for, maybe it's just one thing, but a lot of people didn't wake up today. So I have breath in my lungs. That's something that I can be grateful for.
True.
So gratitude saves lives. The next one is that community and collaboration like rule. Uh,
Tell me more about that.
you can't do everything on your own. Actually, you can't do anything on your own. This is hard for me. This is all just a therapy session for me, basically. This is all stuff, but these are all things. I guess, I mean, it's true, because these are all things that I wish that I knew sooner. But
Right.
you can't do anything on your own. Remember, continuing, blah 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 blah.
Continually.
And that's all I got. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, yes, continually, whatever. Reminding yourself of this every single day. It will be. It does two things. It keeps you from thinking too highly of yourself, and it also keeps you from burning yourself out trying to do too much.
I like that. Yeah.
So I'm a musician. Like I've said, music is a big part of what I do. So from I was thinking earlier today about the process of someone having a song, like an idea for a song in their head, to the time that it gets out. So usually, when an artist is wants to produce music or wants to put out a project, or even if it's just one single song, they have to get a beat or an instrumental. A producer usually makes that. Sometimes it's the artist, but it's usually someone else, another artist, that
Right.
makes the music portion. Then they take that music portion and then they go into a music studio where there is someone at the booth recording their vocals. Once that person records their vocals, the artist does the performance. It sounds good. Then they send it off to somebody to mix the song and basically get the levels all good and right, and making it sound the way that it needs to sound. Then the mixer takes that and then they send it off to someone else to master it, which is basically the process of taking a really good song that's performed very well on a beat that somebody made. So now we're talking three or four, five people already in the process at least, and the mastering process is to make it louder. That's it, just to make it louder.
Make
Once
it
that's
louder.
done, they send it off to the record label or to a distributor, who then puts the music out
Out.
for us to listen to. So there's 6 steps in that process. Now, I was curious and I thought about Beyonce. She's one of the. If you don't know who Beyonce is, you should Google. I don't know. She's a local underground artist. Really dope. You should check her out. Yeah, not a lot of people know about her, but so Beyonce's Lemonade album had, I believe it was 12 songs, 72 songwriters on it. 72
72.
songwriters, and a lot of when that information came out, I think it was 5 or 6 years ago, a lot of people were like, "Oh, that's 72. That's too many. She's not even writing her own stuff." But the reality is, no one does anything on their own. Uh, that's common. That's not an outlier. The best works of art that we've seen, is especially in the music world, they it's collaboration. So just a very, very long-winded way to say, like, collaboration brings out the best in everyone.
Mm.
So not just with creation, but also just as people, community brings out the best in me because I'm able to see. I'm able to take part in building a community, and that makes me a better person. I learn and grow from uh, community. So again, like we've said many times, just being like, "Hey guys, I'm not okay." It makes me better because I'm able to say that, and someone is able to be on the other end of that, giving me whatever I need at the time. Maybe it's a good, firm talking to, or maybe it's just a pat on the I don't know, pat on the back, or a hug,
I
or
know what you
whatever it
mean.
is,
Yeah.
a warm embrace, whatever it is. I'm able to get that. Community is better. So, and then the last thing that I wish I knew sooner was to dream big, one step at a time. Dream big,
Tell me
one
more
step
about
at a
that.
time.
That's interesting.
So,
One step at a time, specifically.
one step at a time. So, you are. So we've a lot of us have heard the phrase, like, run your race. It's just your race. Like, don't run anybody else's race. Uh, or maybe people who haven't heard that. I've heard that a lot. Run your race. It's just your race. You are the most qualified, the most equipped. You are the very best person on this earth to do you.
Qualified to do. Yeah.
Like, nobody else can do you like you can do you. In fact, nobody else can even attempt to do you like you can do you. So with that being said, we have these dreams. Uh, when we dream too small, we limit ourselves. So we need to dream big. But if we try to get from step A to step Z in one fell swoop, we'll find ourselves falling on our face, getting frustrated, and then quit before we even start. Uh, so taking one step at a time, no matter what that is, if you wake up every single day and say, I'm going to take one step towards my dream, you're going to get there way sooner than you realize. For me, right now, it's where I am trying my best at eating healthier and working out. If I join a super hardcore fitness program tomorrow with athletes, I'm gonna do half a day and I'm not doing it again. I
You
promise you.
ain't coming back.
I'm not coming back. No, no, I'm not doing it. So I
No,
start one day at a time, one step at a time, just going for a walk, switching out. And I don't have to change my whole diet now, but just, I don't have to worry about anything except just adding healthy food. I don't got to worry about taking stuff out, just add healthy food. Um, it's kind of
no,
like a lot of things in one, but dream big, one step at a time. Don't rush, don't try to rush things. Don't get stuck, but you're only stuck when you stop trying. That's it. Like you're only stuck when you stop moving. So if you take one step and it takes you 6 years, if it takes you 16 years, if you feel like you should have started, 10 years ago, you should have. The best time to start is 10 years ago. The very next best time to start is today.
just today.
So yeah, I don't. Those are kind of those are so that's it. Those are the six things that I wish I
It's a pretty good list.
I knew sooner. Thank you. Yeah, nothing lasts forever. Focus on what you can control. Gratitude saves lives. Community and collaboration rule. Do the hard thing and dream big one step at a time.
I like that. I like that. Hey man, we appreciate your time. Thank you for joining us. I hope the young people that watch this can kind of get that and implement it into their lives. Because, like you said, there was always the better time to do something, but the next best time to do it is when? It's today.
Right now.
So I hope
Right
that
now.
we can implement that. I know I'm going to implement something. If people want to learn more about you, where can they get your deets?
Totally. You can go. You can follow me on Instagram. On Instagram is Isaiah Obi at Isaiah Obi ISAIAH. And I'm on Facebook as well. But Instagram is probably the best place. So that will have all my websites and emails and contact information if you'd like to reach out or learn more. And you can go to ncamadison.com if you want to learn more about the church and hear me trip over my words more. But just like on a bigger stage with more people listening. So yeah, we we have a really good time. And if you find yourself between the ages of 20 to 35, come on down. We got a community for you. Actually, it doesn't matter what age you are. I got a community for you. I promise you.
Come on down.
So come on down. You're the next contestant on.
No, I
Yep.
like that. All right, my man. I think we're going to let you go, but I appreciate your time. Thanks for being with us.
I really appreciate it. Have a good day, everyone. Stay cool out there.
That's right. Cheers, bro.